Yeah, Philly! Wake up, crank it loud, and get ready for the real morning sports show! From South Philly to Broad Street, from the Link to Citizens Bank Park, this is where Philly fans come to ride!
Well, if that doesn't wake you up in the morning, I don't know what does. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Philly AM Sports with Al. I'm Al. And Mike. He's still Mike. What is going on, everybody? We got a lot to cover today. The countdown is on, Mike Lauro. It is May 31st. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we are looking at 24 hours until maybe the A.J. Brown conversation can finally shut up. Or does it keep going? We don't know. Late night Phillies heroics kept this series at 1-1. Today will be the rubber match that everybody has hoping it would be. And the trade rumors heat up in that area as well. So we got trade rumors on the Eagles side. We got trade rumors on the Phillies side. Stanley Cup is finals, as well as the NBA finals have been set. And getting towards the end of those seasons too. That means what we got? Draft nights and trades and all that stuff, because those teams don't take breaks. So a lot of Flyers and Sixers stuff to talk about. Sixers got a new GM coming out of left field, and we'll talk on that if we have a moment. But I want to welcome everybody in, as always, to the It's a Wrap Sports Network, Philly AM Sports. Al and Mike here. Good morning, Elephant in the Room. Good morning, Rob, as always. Well, that was nice of Tanner Scott to leave out there for a Mundo. Yes, it was. We will talk about that in just a moment. And Rob thinks the A.J. Brown talk will keep on going. It'll be like the Nick Cassiano situation, the jilted girlfriend feelings of Philly. No matter what we get out of this, we will watch and just hope he doesn't do well. It's just we can't help ourselves, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be real funny when he's playing in Cleveland, because I think that's where he's going. I really do. I think there's some sort of trade mixed in there. Maybe they get a first round pick, maybe they don't for him. But if it's A.J. Brown and maybe a mid-level pick going to Cleveland for, say, a guy, I don't know, Myles Garrett, maybe. I don't think he's going to end up in New England. New England is steadfast, does not want to give up a first-round pick, or if they do, it's like down the line first-round pick. If I'm the Eagles, I'm saying, no, you're going to get A.J. Brown for this year. Like, no, we want next year's number one pick. If you're not going to give it to us, kick rocks. There's other people that want them. The Chargers were just here.
I see what you're saying. Listen, I really think that this is done. There's a little tin lining under this hat this morning, Mike Lauro. I really think this has been done. I think this is a whole total smokescreen. I think this is so that nobody can come out and say that this wasn't a done deal and they've just been sitting on it for a while.
Well, they're going to say that anyway, right? If he goes into New England, they're going to be, well, they had this in place for a while. So
yeah, but they're say, well, no, we've discussed. Trades have been discussed, but we were never locked in until now. They could say, well, we came to it in the last moment. I honestly told you, I think from the Diana Rossini thing all the way back to that if NFL, the Eagles, and New England said, make this go away. The only way it is, New England, you guys are going to come, and Eagles are going to come up with a trade that everybody's happy with. AJ Brown wants out anyway. We all know that. So that's why I don't think there's ever an investigation in that. But honestly, I think this is a total smokescreen. Total smokescreen. Maybe Howie's trying to drive up the price. That could possibly be it. I don't see Cleveland getting rid of Myles Garrett for AJ Brown. I mean, who do you throw into him?
I mean, if you throw in Myles Garrett, if you throw in AJ Brown and say maybe a second round pick.
Do you do your first round pick for and AJ Brown for Myles Garrett?
No, not a first round. You do AJ Brown and a second round pick. That should be enough to get it done. And like, if Cleveland wants any more than that, then other than just draft capital, like they may not want draft capital, but
because they do that so well. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well,
that the Browns do it so well.
Well, here's the thing: they can also, if you're really kind of looking at it, stepping back, and I'm not trying to give AJ Brown away for cheap, and I'm not trying to get Myles Garrett for cheap, but their contracts kind of cancel each other out a little bit, too. So the money's got to be right a little bit. So if you're throwing in a second round pick, you're not going to get your 3 number ones that you want for him, but again, you weren't going to get 3 number ones anyway, because if you could have got 3 number ones for Myles Garrett, he would have been traded already.
Yeah, I mean, Myles Garrett's contract makes it a lot more difficult. I mean, Cleveland, as we know, is really bad at giving out big contracts. But then again, he was more worth it than the last guy they gave out a ridiculous contract to.
Who's still on the team fighting for a starting quarterback position?
Can you imagine guaranteeing somebody that kind of money and he's not even your guaranteed starting quarterback?
That's crazy.
It's an albatross of anything right there. But I mean, I know the Jaguars have been a conversation too. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to pull something like that. So I think somebody on the show on Friday said, and I think it was just not, what about the Jets? The Jets have a ton of draft capital to expend. I said that would be the best thing for us, because if you think of it from this standpoint, the Jets and they're willing to probably to spend it. It's going to be, a lower draft round, a first round draft pick. Because here's the other reason I don't believe the first round picks off the board for New England. If they play as well as they do, it's going to be glorified second round pick, late first round, early second round pick. You know what I mean? They think that AJ Brown's that piece that's going to get them over the hump. They're expecting to go to the Super Bowl again, right? So, what you really going to care about 2 spots in the first place or first round to the second round? No. So, I think it's done. I think it's in place. They might not announce it till June 5th or 6th or 7th or something along those lines, just to save face. But I think it's pretty much a done deal. But like I said, I think the Jets would make perfect sense because again, your draft picks would be good. They have the draft capital to spend, and it's not New England, but you get to sit there and stare at them because you're in the same division, have to play them 2 times that year, and it's almost as bad as being stuck, or as bad as being stuck in Cleveland.
Right, exactly. So I mean, I think it's going to be somebody out of left field. I really do.
Okay. Well, here's the great thing about what we do, Mike. You could be right. I could be right. It's these are gut feelings that we have. June or 90, I guess, of 92 was ultimate pivot year. Barkley left. Lindros arrived. Herschel Walker signed. A.J. Brown talk pales in comparison of that time. Yeah, here's the thing, Nooms. I think where the difference is was you could turn off sports radio and be done. Or not read a newspaper. You could avoid, I remember when you were younger, I couldn't watch the game last night. So don't tell me what happened. You know what I mean? As long as you didn't, listen to sports radio and read a newspaper, you're okay for the most part. You can't. I don't even try that anymore. I'm I just go, what was the final? Okay, go back and check some of the highlights. Then now YouTube has within 12 hours a condensed 8-minute, 7-minute game. I'll watch that because it's impossible, and I think that's the difference. Now, if the Barkley, Lindros, and Herschel Walker situation happened in the social media area, it would probably this would probably pale in comparison. Sorry, it's still early, guys. These late night West Coast games get us.
Tell me about it. But yeah, I kind of agree. With news, I remember that time. I remember Barkley went to the Suns. It was a 3-for-1, and really the only player we got out of that was Jeff Hornacek. Lindros gets awarded to the Flyers, so that was cool. And then an aging Herschel Walker actually came back to the Eagles, revived his career a little bit. He actually went on to play a couple more years after that. So, you know, to me, this does kind of, pales in comparison to that, because again, with the thing of social media, everything that was going on, right after the season, you knew something was going to go down with AJ Brown. So you knew it was going to be kind of hard for him to be here. Apparently, whatever him and Jalen's relationship is, I guess Jalen's okay with it. When he talked last week, he just kind of said, we're good. And he said, we were great together. But here's the past words. If you listen to that, he said, we were great together.
Yeah.
So he used past tense. So
he said, he did say, oh, well, we were the same as we were when we last talked. And a lot of people took that as, they haven't talked since this morning or since the end of the season. And I think that's what he meant to the what's it called, the media that was in front of him at that moment. But yeah, I mean, I think there is I think they're not the same friends there. I mean, all we heard is he's his godfather. He wasn't at his wedding, man. I mean, you don't not invite your kid's godfather or the godfather of the kid. You don't not invite him to your wedding. You guys were supposed to be good friends when they first got here. So in my eyes, there's definitely a problem. But
there's a rip there. But
here's my thing: is I put it this way: we all have friends who, in my eyes, we love. They're great. We love hanging out with them. But we don't want to work with them, right? There's guys that who are great dudes, but maybe your work ethic's different. Maybe your personality's different, where if you had to deal with them in a work situation. And I really think that's the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts situation.
It's not a personal situation. No. Everybody's making it out to be a personal situation. It's not.
We all say it's business, and I think it is to them. And I think it's more maybe business to Jalen than it is AJ, because I don't think Jalen gets fazed by that. We're going to move forward with or without AJ. He wants to be here, fine. If he doesn't want to be here, fine. Do I want him here? Probably he does want him. He probably, from a talent perspective, just like we do, from a talent perspective, no matter how many first round picks you get for him, it's going to be, you're going to lose something. He's a guaranteed talent outside of any injuries.
I was thinking about this whole AJ situation, right? With them acquiring, I don't think it's him being a diva. I really don't. He's a wide receiver. He wants the ball.
He's a diva. I mean, listen. You can't say he's not a diva. He's not Terrell Owens
and Randy Moss. Yeah,
Randy Moss. He's not like that kind of guy that he's doing sit-ups in the driveway. He is vocal when he needs. I think he can't help himself. I think he's like the Incredible Hulk, but the Incredible Diva. Like the AJ Brown's got to keep him in a little bit sometimes, but he can't help himself to go pour it out on social media. Again, like I go back to Noom's earlier thing. The Barkley. Look how Barkley is, right, man? He's no quiet guy. Could you imagine if that was the social media era? You don't think he would have been all over the place on social media with that?
Oh, hell. Barkley would have been a meme. I'll tell you, two people from Philadelphia Sports Pass that if the social media was around when they were around, they would have memes and would live forever. Barkley would be one of them. The other one would be Buddy Ryan.
Oh, God.
They would have memes everywhere throughout the internet, like history. They really would. Because they were bold. They were bold and they stood on business and they didn't care what you thought, and in a way it kind of makes people, and if you really take a look at it back at those times, okay, when you had a team like the Sixers who had Howard Katz as their owner, and that dude didn't want to spend money for nothing, okay, all Barkley wanted to do was win. So, I mean, getting back to this whole thing with A.J. Brown, okay, for me, honestly, I really do think that if he does go somewhere, he might be okay. But if he doesn't, I think either which way. All I want to, and Al, I want your opinion of this. Really is, do you think with Sean Mannion's offense that maybe he's just not a fit in that offense?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
I think that was like, I think the minute everybody said, oh, once they drafted Mekhi Lemon, that was the death knell to AJ Brown. I think it was the Sean Mannion hire. I think they knew they were moving on from him at that point.
Yeah, I mean, because I think
a guy who we talked about this where he bitched and moaned when he didn't get us, and this is where the diva moment comes in. I didn't get enough touch. Did you ever hear anybody else on this team?
You never hear Devontae Smith complain about touches.
No, you don't. And all you hear now is that he's working hard because he's going to be the number one guy, and I think he can be a number one guy.
I'll tell you,
he can do it.
I'm really liking our receiver room. I really am. With Mekhi Lemon being involved, with Devontae Wicks being involved, also with Hollywood Brown. Now the thing is, you got to keep Brown healthy. Brown can be your deep threat. Okay, he's got to stay healthy. But getting guys like Wicks, and then you also don't forget too, you got Dallas Goedert, and I'm going to say this name too. Watch out for him in this offense, which is Johnny Munt. He's predominantly a blocking tight end, but Johnny Munt is great inside the red zone. Inside the red zone.
They need
red zone presence besides running the football.
But they also need multiple tight ends in the scheme of Sean Mannion.
Yeah, they do. And that's why if you take a look with them going out and getting Eli Stowers, okay, that's going to help them out even more too. Like this kid's going to get some time. So again, I'd be real hard pressed to think Grant Calcaterra makes this team. If he does, he's going to be on practice squad. I do not see him sticking to the 53 man roster. So, but
Nooms is on a roll right now. I'm just letting it go on the bottom here because I'm letting everybody just soak in the Sunday morning Nooms. He must be up. He might be a little delirious from all the.
He must. Yeah, he stayed up and watched that game last night. That's
what
it is.
Not getting much sleep. Because I'm in a house with kids and family. I'm up early no matter what's going on. I know with your job, you're up early no matter what's going on. So in these late night games, we're all a little delirious.
Hey, look, I'm happy. They already went to San Francisco. They already went to San Diego. They already went to the Dodgers. I'm happy. And they don't go to Sacramento. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, really, there's really no more.
Still right.
Yeah, but that's 9:30. That's the little, that's usually between 9 and 9:30. So, I mean, all right, you're still getting to bed, around midnight. So it's not too bad, but
I think the Sean Mannion thing was the nail in the coffin. That told me everything I needed to know the minute Sean Mannion signed here because the spread the ball around scenario just went against everything that AJ Brown wanted, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, and that's what I was thinking about, like when I was looking at this whole scenario over, and it's more of like AJ Brown doesn't fit their new offensive system. So again, that it would be wise for them to move him instead of trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and. AJ's got parts of his game, and I think he would flourish, honestly, if he did go to a place like New England. Now, New England's got a lot of twos, like what I mean as far as wide receivers go, with Booty. Can't remember the other kid's name that was there. They got like 3 or 4 like number twos up there. They need a number one guy. They thought they had that in Stephon Diggs, but they let Stephon Diggs walk. So,
yeah. Well, they let him walk. I think Stephon Diggs is kind of like I don't think he's
I think he's past his prime.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, you got Kayshawn Bout. I don't know how you say his
Booty. Kayshawn Booty.
And then Mac Hollins. Don't forget Mac Hollins is up there in New England.
Okay. And Mac was like one of their top wide receivers last year. So I mean, if they do get it over there, but it's got to be what the Eagles want. You know, that's all. It's plain and simple. Like New England holds none of the cards in this. Like they really don't. You want AJ Brown, you're going to pay us what we want, or we'll keep him, or we'll trade him somewhere else. Like the Eagles are in full control of this, and for anybody who thinks that the Eagles are not in control of this situation, you're foolish to think it. They don't have to. They don't have to.
That goes back to my tin hat theory. I really think something has been set into place because of the Rossini situation that just kind of said, you're going to give them what they want. You guys can posture all you want. You can leak out all the information to the media. Because remember, all these leaks got to come from inside. And you don't, it's like it's like blockbuster movies. Marvel and DC do it all the time with their big movies. You know, these leaks came out that this person's going to be playing this character in there. And then it ends up being true. You don't think that's coming from Sony or Marvel directly? Right. No, they're putting it out there to drum up the conversation. Well, it's the same thing here. They're just doing the drum of the conversations, plausible deniability that we've been going back and forth. And then right a week before the June 2nd conversation happens, oh, well, they're really not that close. They're really not that close. I mean, come on, man. It's like you breaking up with your wife today and then having a girlfriend and then changing your status to having a girlfriend tomorrow on Facebook. I just found her and we fell in love, honey. It was just the heart wants what the heart wants. Like nobody's believing. Yeah,
keep that down, dude. The wife's across the room sleeping. Don't let her know I have a girlfriend.
Sorry,
you're gonna have a death on there,
dude. Now and Jamie, she's probably like, just take him. He's all yours. Just take him.
No, absolutely not.
Leave the paycheck at the door. Just take it. Yeah. Well, you listen. It's. Like I said, I think it's all said but done. Now, can somebody swoop in at the final hour and try to?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to go as smoothly as people think. That's all I'm saying. Like to me, it seems like the perfect situation. It's where he wants to go. Like everything is geared towards him, and like people have to remember it's the Eagles. Like the Eagles hold the cards in this, and I don't want to hear, oh well, they're going to screw it up. I mean, screwing up to me is having the Eagles trade him for no less than what they wanted. If you wanted a first-round pick for A.J. Brown and nobody's going to give you one, guess what? No. This is what we want. We don't have to trade him. And then you could go back and tell A.J., hey, man, we tried to move you. We think you're a first-round talent. The rest of the league doesn't think you're a first-round talent.
Yeah.
And that was him being a quote-unquote, sort of diva-ish, that's a blow. Like that could do something, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but us as guys, when your ego takes a hit, 9 times out of 10, you want to prove those people wrong that turn around and said, you're not worth what you say you're worth. So, I mean, it could have a double-edged side effect to it, where if the Eagles try to move him, hell, he can go to him and say, AJ, listen, we tried. We think this is what we think of you, okay? We think if we're going to trade you, you are definitely a first-round talent.
I would also tell him, like, listen, we'll trade you, but we're getting max value. So careful for what you wish for, because you might just get it.
Yeah,
there's no guarantee you're going to do it, because that's a diva situation. Not only do I want out of here, but I want to go where I want to go.
Right, and that's the whole thing. Like, but like I said, if that were to fall apart, like another way of kind of stroking his ego a little bit and kind of maybe getting him to play nice here and try to buy along with this new system, because from what, and this came out of his mouth, what he saw of the offense when he was on with Edelman and Gronk, and they were talking about Sean Mannion, his eyes lit up about the offense. So I don't think it's not about the offensive coordinator, because he turned around, he said, he goes, I can't wait to get in and learn this offense. And he said it right on their podcast. So now going forward here, like I said, I think it could really kind of turn out 2 ways. One, if you don't get what you want for A.J. Brown can turn around and say, okay, league, you didn't think I was worth this to get me out of here. Now I'm going to show you why I'm worth that. and he can go out and be productive and ball out. But he's got to come to the understanding. That's where Mannion, as a coach, has got to go, dude, yeah, you're on this team. Yes, we will get you the ball, but we're feeding everybody, not just you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it just be like, this is how my offense runs.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is you're getting paid well. I would also say you're getting paid very handsomely.
Yeah,
and again,
you being paid is the number one.
When you try to tell me he's not a diva, think about it. When Devontae Smith got his contract because it was time to pay the man, who else got a contract extension? He did. Listen, he's very much a diva, and it's going to come. I think all top flight wide receivers, 99% of the time, are going to be divas. I think it just comes with the territory.
Yeah,
I mean, running backs used to be like that, but I think their job has become so fluid that that's changed a little bit. And it is a pass heavy league, so that also plays a factor. But I mean, look at any of the major ones out there. I mean, and some of them it's destroyed them, like Antonio Brown. Like he's not Antonio Brown type situation, but he's a diva, and that's what it is. Noom saying he's paying for yesterday because he had his son's doubleheader. Watch the Spurs game, and then they watch the Phils game. His honey-do list is going to be through the
roof today. Yeah. Nooms, you better get ready on that one, buddy. Yeah, but listen, like since we might as well just stay on the Eagles here with this, with the
Yeah, I think we should. We for those who are wondering, we came in like we'll start with the Phils, right?
Phillies. Yeah, and that happened. It's like it's like 90% of our shows half the time, guys. We say we're going to start with something, and we usually just go off the rails. Mm-hmm. Staying with the Birds, right? What was your initial reaction to some of the reports that were coming out of minicamp, or I should say OTAs?
Like any day, like people get excited about some catches, getting bummed out about some drops. It was just, I think the thing I took away from the most was the guys playing out there. Most guys are healthy, except for the ones we already kind of knew who weren't coming into it. AJ Brown's not there, which is par for the course in this situation. But my point is I'm not overtly excited about it just because they're playing on a half or 3/4 of a field. They're indoors. They're just running through things with no pads on. But ultimately, just watching the guys, especially the linemen, play healthy and not having to stand out. That's my big. I'm telling you, that's the difference here in the Sean Mannion offense. I don't care whose offense. If Kevin Patullo comes back or Sean Mannion's running it, if this offensive line is not in good shape physically, we're in trouble.
Yeah, most definitely. And speaking of the offensive line, our 3rd round pick, Bell, said they kind of looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And another guy who said they kind of couldn't believe how well he looked was our boy Umar, the 7th round pick.
Yeah, that's I really believe. So we haven't really talked much about this, but Vic Fangio had come out last week and said, "Oh, I'm healthy. I'm probably going to be here another couple of years." Like he pretty much went from looking to retire 2 years in a row. Now he's not going anywhere for a couple of years.
Well, he saw that kid Umar play, and they were so kind of.
I'm excited. I wonder if there was a little bit of a health scare somewhere with either him or somebody, maybe in his family or something, and kind of made him think about it might be time to hang this up, and something changed, and so thus he changed.
It's really funny. They were talking to Moro Jomo last week, and they were trying to get a gauge on the kid Umar, because he's never played football before. And first thing Moro Jomo said is, that kid has got the most unbelievable strength, he said, that I've ever seen in anybody. He said he is going to be a problem. He said his talent right now, he goes, got him to the NFL. He goes, what do you think's going to happen with him? He goes, and I'm being serious with this. He's like, what do you think's going to happen when he starts understanding the game and knowing what he's supposed to do and how he's supposed to do it? He's like, dude, he's going to be unstoppable. Yeah. And I'm like,
but it's also going to be, I think we need to kind of pump the brakes a little bit. He's going to be more kind of like, what's his name? or
Mailata.
Sorry.
I think you're right. I think the first year he'll probably be on the roster. I don't know if he touches
the.
Yeah, he won't touch the field.
Keep him down and just not to take up the space for right now. Let him work every day with guys, unless he makes like some huge leap.
No, listen,
or an injury. We gotta try this guy.
He'll be on the 52 because if he's not on the 52 and he's on the practice squad, anybody can pluck him. So they're not going to put him down there. I think they'll stash him away and have him work every day with Coach Clint and have him get ready. Just the fact that Coach Clint kind of stuck his neck out there and said, "Give me him, I'll work with him." Which, by the way, too, I think that shows a lot of faith that the organization has in Clint. Which I don't know. I've been saying that. I think he's the next defensive coordinator whenever Fangio is ready to hang him up.
I really think that. I
think Clint is going to be there because he had chances. He had chances to leave.
I think Bernard was kind of like you were going to give your guy. You're going to work with him for a couple next season or two. When Vic finally stands down, and it would be funny if Vic Fangio retires after the season still. After I'm good for another couple of years, I think the Bernard's like, here, we're going to give you what you want. Work with this guy, build him up, so when it becomes your defense, Clint, you're ready to go.
I do, and I think Mannion's he's the next Eagle head coach. They will literally I would not be surprised if, I'm not saying they would give Sirianni a front office job, but to keep Mannion, I could see them moving him up. If they want to move him up, if he doesn't bomb out and fail, you got to give Sirianni credit. He's able to balance it. Like we all think I think he's a buffoon at times, but the guy wins football games. Okay, and as much as guys,
results in my eyes.
Yes, the results are results. Exactly. You are what your record says you are. Like there's no hiding that. Bill Parcells coined that phrase. You are what your record is. So he is what he is. Now, I don't want to speak ill of the sleeping, but again, we have somebody that doesn't like our general manager. Okay, refuses to give him his props, even after winning 2 Super Bowls in 7 years. Doesn't want to give him his props.
Going 3 times and
winning 2. Yeah, winning 2 out of 3 Super Bowls, and they should have won the middle one. Yeah. So again, I'm at a loss for words right now because, how can you objectively look at this situation? Has our GM made bad picks in the past? Yes, he has. Has he learned from his mistakes? Yes. Howie has found the SEC football. Okay, and he started drafting SEC guys who are really good.
It's like he never knew it existed. It was right. This,
and he's a Florida guy. He went to Florida, so he knows about the SEC. I think he was just a little prejudiced of Georgia and Alabama players. When you go to Florida, you don't like them schools. So.
Well, no, I think it was a little bit of that. I really do. I think he tried to be the smartest man in the room a little bit. We don't need that. We can get guys, turn them into something, and kind of like what Chip Kelly was. If you think about this, right? So Chip Kelly sent him back to the closet, right? Mm-hmm. And what did Chip Kelly do? Chip Kelly tried to be the smartest man in the room, saying the scheme would be everything they need. Mm-hmm. Well, what was he doing before that? Kind of the same idea from a draft perspective. And he learned. So, sometimes you gotta ooh, was that me? Was I doing that the whole time? Ooh, damn, sorry guys. I'm sorry. Like I said, when they picked up Devontae Smith, everybody's like, "How we finally figured it out?" I'm like, I'm not giving him credit for that one. He was
there. Listen, you were either going to get Devontae Smith or you were going to get Micah Parsons.
They did jump up. Didn't they jump Dallas? I think to get to it.
They traded with Dallas to get it. Dallas wanted Micah Parsons. The Eagles wanted Devontae Smith. Yeah.
They jumped New York. They jumped New York.
New York wanted them. And if you go back, there's a guy who does, I guess, Giants content or whatever, and he's watching that draft, and he's rubbing his hands. He's like, Dallas is going to take Micah Parsons. He's like, we're going to get Devontae Smith. He's like, and the Eagles are stuck. And then all of a sudden, you hear the trade in the background, and they're like, he's like, no. He's like, He goes, they better not be taking Devontae Smith. They better not. And he gets up and just lets out an expletive. And then you just see that he goes nuts. He loses it. He goes, why would Dallas work with the Eagles? And then the Giants ultimately ended up trading back with the Bears in that draft. They traded with the Bears and got like another first-round pick.
Yeah.
Plus, I think they went from like 11 to 20. So like they like kind of dropped back, and then Dallas shot in and got their guy, Michael Parsons. So, it was either the Eagles were going to, they had a chance to not end up, if you really look at it, if it stays the way it is, they have a real good chance of not getting Devontae Smith or Michael Parsons in that draft.
Yeah, no. And like I said, Rob, you're probably right. He's probably one of the greatest top GMs. Like if they were ranking GMs currently in the NFL, he has to be number one, if not top 2 or 3. And I think the funny thing is, if we fired Howie as Matty B wanted to at one point,
yeah, he'd have a line. He'd have a line.
He'd have a job before he hit the car. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't think a team like the Jets would go pick him up in a heartbeat?
Jets, I think guys would fire their current GMs to get him in there.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Or Howie would get a bump. He would get a bump and become like somebody's president of football operations or something like that. Like they would keep their GM, but they would have to answer to Howie. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely something, I can actually see Howie getting that. Like whenever Don Smolinski, whenever he decides he wants to retire, I think Howie's just going to move right into that spot, to be honest with you.
Let me ask you this question. I'm gonna kind of give you a couple of rapid fire questions for you.
Oh boy,
how do you feel about Mondin and Trotter starting at linebacker with Bond?
Who? Trotter and who?
Mondin.
How do I feel about them starting at linebacker?
Well, Campbell's not going to be in there starting right now. He's still recovering from his injury.
All right, so I can see because
there's no what's his face is gone to Vegas.
Dean. So it wouldn't be Mondin. I don't think he'd get the snot. It would be Grenard. Grenard would be one of your linebackers. He would be one of your edge.
I think he's more of an edge guy.
No, he's both. He's both. He can play. He can play both. But
I think we're thin on edge. I honestly think he'd be more.
No, he's going to be an edge. But if you're looking at that, those outside linebackers are going to be consistent of edge rushers. Okay, so it's not your typical 4-3 where you have two different
inside, more or less.
Your two inside backers. If Campbell's not ready to go, opening season, it'll be Trotter and Bond.
Okay.
I think Mondin will get some time in there, but it'll be mainly because Trott's your third best linebacker on the team, so they're going to move him in, and he can play the middle. You know what I mean? He can patrol middle, and you have Bond to go from sideline to sideline. They can both go. They can both cover half the field. So I would do. I think it'd be Bond and Trot. Your second question.
Speaking of Bernard, he is rehabbing a shoulder injury. He didn't participate in team drills, but he was doing like sprints and that kind of stuff with the special teams. Any worry there?
No.
Nope. And how about Reek Woolen? Are you excited to see him?
Yes. Did you see the size of him over the other defensive backs? My man's got they say he's 6'4". There's no way. He had at least 5-6 inches on the other cornerbacks that were around, with the exception of Ringo. I think Ringo's probably close to him. I think Ringo's 6'2". And when you saw the picture, he towered over every last one of them. You know what he reminds me of body type wise? He reminds me of Bobby Taylor. Reminds me of a Bobby Taylor type. You know what I mean? He's lean, he's quick. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table because I really think our secondary is going to be really good. Okay. I love what signing I love the most for our secondary was them re-signing what's his face? The safety. Epps.
Oh, Epps.
I'm so happy they brought Marcus Epps back. So happy. I think he can train Makuba. Okay, he's an older, you know, he's like an older Coupe de Jean. Like he'll come down and lay the wood in the box. You know, for backside, he'll
hit and miss too. He could be swing and a miss kind of guy, home run hitter. He does have that ability in him.
He does, but I mean, he's not bad in coverage. I think they're going to use Makuba as more of the covering safety, which is smart. He's younger, and Makuba's a ball hawk. You know, we saw that last year. Like, that kid's got hands, man. So I like that there. But I love the signing of Epps. He's a veteran safety. You know what I mean? And he can actually I think the reason why they got him, kind of brought him back too, was to kind of help Cooper transition to safety as well.
Laying the wood in the box.
Yeah.
Pause. So Mekhi Lemon was running with the starters. I don't know if anybody's shocked about that. That was one of the notes I took today. Johnny Wilson with Devontae Wicks, Devontavian Wicks, I should say. I always call him Devontavian Wicks, not being at the OTAs in the beginning. Johnny Wilson was getting a start, and people were getting super excited. Does Johnny Wilson make this team?
Oh, most definitely. Okay. I think, if anything, he was proven to be, coming out of Florida State. He's a big-bodied receiver. He's kind of like that hybrid. He's a hybrid tight end wide receiver type, So I think he's going to cause, and he's tall. He's going to cause matchup problems. This offense is going to be based on it's a West Coast style offense. So you got to get the ball out quick, and you need those big-bodied, like, tight end / hybrid receivers to go get the ball. This is where I think, getting back to the A.J. Brown thing, why he wouldn't want to be here, because I feel like even though his touches may be limited, it may be like, I don't want to say limited, but I mean not as much as before. He still has a chance to, like, really do some great things in this offense and put up numbers.
I agree. Even after all the flaws of last year and the offensive sputtering and the O-line not being that great and all that stuff, and Jalen not having his greatest season, he still got 1,000+ yards. So did Devontae Smith.
This is what I'm talking about. So again, this is where I fight back on these people when they say Hurts isn't a decent quarterback. He had not one but two wide receivers over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
and a tight end that would have went over 1,000 yards if he didn't take 4 games off.
Yeah. Listen, people are going to do that. Other question I have: how about Andy Dalton at QB2 over Tanner McKee?
That's because Tanner McKee's getting moved, buddy. Somebody's going to get hurt in training camp, and Howie is going to fleece somebody's wallet.
Gotcha. And not a big surprise, but Ringo slides down the depth chart for Jonathan Jones and Jacorian Bennett. Are you shocked and awed about that at all? Is Ringo just a special teamers at best? Yeah,
he's a special teamer, which I'm really sad about that, because coming out of college, I thought this kid had all the tools to be a starting cornerback in the NFL. Now, maybe he might, some people it takes a little long.
I think he's had a lot of mites. It'd be I'll be hard pressed to think that he's going to be some number one.
What's kicking me in the pants right now? We had Josh Jobe on this team. No, my wife's knocked out across the room. So she's good.
Just the way you like it.
Just the way I like it. It's the best. This is the only time of the day she makes sense.
I'm waiting for the shoe.
Or the flip-flop, dude. The flip-flop. She's freaking deadly with those things.
Like you said, Markel Bell getting first string reps because Lane.
Love it, though. Love it. Get him in there. Listen, I think Tyler Steen could probably be I think he might be on his way out, because another one that we're hearing too is Mekhi Becton, as of tomorrow, is supposed to be cut by the Chargers, and I would not be surprised if the Eagles brought him back.
Sure, he worked.
Yeah, you put him.
I mean, it'd probably be like, is he healthy? And then you already kind of talked about it. Are you shocked? Are you shocked that Johnny Munt was at 2, not Stowers, or is it just too early to tell a guy?
Too early. You're going to put the veteran guy there, and I'll tell you what, I watched for me doing fantasy football and playing lineups and stuff like that, you get to see values of guys. And I'll tell you what, Johnny Munt, man, when his time in Minnesota, that dude was a touchdown machine, dude. Like he would catch. I think one year, he had he was the number 2 option over there, and boom. Hey, our boy Joey Sullivan checking in. Make sure
Hopefully Bell can play. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
The depth was always Joey. The depth was always depth was always an issue, especially this season. They were rotating guys in there that were just kind of in over their heads.
Well, thank God. I like the Matt Pryor experience. That dude shouldn't even be making an NFL paycheck. That dude was more of a turn.
They had no choice, and he was cheap.
Oh, who was the guy? Remember the guy we traded to? I think it was Tennessee. He was an offensive lineman. He sucked really bad, and we ended up trading him.
3 names.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Wasn't he our first round draft pick?
I don't know if he might have been.
I can't remember who the hell it was. I remember. Oh, Dennis Kelly.
Yeah.
Dennis Kelly. Oh God. I remember they were like
for 2 first names. I always forget it.
Yeah, Dennis Kelly. Yeah. Oh my God, he was so hard. He had 3 stints here with the Eagles. He couldn't block a windblown rag, and this dude. I remember they were glazing him one Sunday night on NFL on a Sunday night game that he was on, and they're like, "Oh, look at him," and this that, and then they're like, "Oh well, man." They're like, "How could the Eagles let him go?" I said, "Obviously, they didn't watch any tape of him with the Eagles. My man was a turnstile."
Yeah, that was the Dorial Green Beckham trade. That's the one.
Oh yeah. We traded him for that dude. I think he's in the XFL now. Or no, that's our quarterback, Dorian Green Thompson, the kid we traded for a couple of years ago with Cleveland. He's now in the XFL.
And that'll be about my questions right now with the Eagles. Why don't we switch gears here? For those who stayed up late night or got up early and watched the clips or whatever, the Phillies had some success at the end of the game. Thank God for pitching right now. This Phillies team would just be god awful still. We'd be like, I think we'd barely in the double digits in wins at this point.
Listen, man, Atlanta's just rolling. So you know what that means, right? Atlanta's rolling. Again, they won again last night, and they beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati. So I mean, the Braves, you gotta
give them credit.
No, they are. But I tell people all the time, between March and September, dude, the Braves are dominant. It's October is where they don't get dominant. They had one lucky run. That was it. Back in 21, they got to the World Series. Other than that, that they are going to bow out in the postseason. That's why I don't take the Braves seriously.
People, they keep going, well, the Braves, this and the Braves. I'm like, stop chasing the Braves. You're not going to get. It's going to be unless the Braves have some sort of.
Yeah, they would have to have it
a monumental, even if they go on a 10-game losing streak, it would. And the Eagles and the Phillies were on a 10-game win streak.
Well, if they were, then they would catch them.
They would just be catching them. That's how close it is. Like how far away it is. You would just be catching each other.
Well, the thing with the Braves is this year is they're healthy. They're a healthy team this year, and they kind of got rid of some dead weight off of their team. Guys like Ozuna. They had a bad contract with him. He's now gone, and their position players are playing.
When they played Pittsburgh, right? That Ozuna said, who was it? Wheeler? Was it Wheeler? He told him he's going to hit a home run off him. That's why when Wheeler struck him out, he had a little extra pep in his step that he normally does, showing a little bit more emotion.
Yeah,
Ozuna was talking crap. So there was excitement last night in the fact that the Phillies were down, or they scored early with a home run. After they put up the stat if Bohm hitting a home run of plus 875 or something like that.
Yeah, Bohm hits a.
It stays that way a little bit until some errors and caused they become 1-1, and then the 3-1 situation, and then they had a bases loaded opportunity with 1 out, and I tweeted out, and I was angry, rightfully so. Your heaviest hitter now against lefties, he doesn't do as well, but still been one of the better hitters. Brandon Marsh got pulled in the 6th inning, I think it was, for Mundo Sosa. And I'm just sitting there going, what? I was like, and what made me mad was Sosa and Bohm's approach at the plate. Oh God. Is this who I think it is? Yeah, it is. We'll get to that in a second. You pull Marsh for Sosa, and him and Bohm with one out go up, and they swing at everything. This guy could not throw a strike. He was one of those weird dudes who move on the mound. It looked like something out of what's the Savannah Bananas type
Yeah.
And
he does have a funky delivery. He does.
He doesn't sit still. He's got ADD, ADHD, or something like that. And I'm sitting here going, let the guy throw you a strike before you swing at it. Even if, especially the way they're hitting, let him throw you a strike. You got the bases loaded and one out. Let him throw you a strike. And him and Bohm went up there and were swinging away. And then, of course, I tweet out, you pitch hit Marsh, your best hitter for Sosa, and this pitcher hasn't thrown a strike yet. This Phillies team is killing me. Make this asshole throw you a strike before swinging.
Right.
And he made up for by hitting a 3-run home run right off somebody's chest. I don't know if you saw it in slow-mo, because at first they thought it hit off the top of the wall. But
yeah.
A seat or two back, he was like this. It just bounced off his chest. He's bruised today.
Oh.
And it was a home run, which propelled them and allowed them to do their thing to tie the series up at 1-1.
Yeah, but hasn't that's been a common series? That's been a common thing now for the Phillies. Probably for the last 4 years. They just don't move runners. They don't play smart baseball. They just don't. And and as much as I don't like to give Matty credit for anything, Matty's actually pretty on point with that. They don't do the small things. It's either a home run or bust. If you have bases loaded, right, with nobody out, hit a damn ball, hit a sac fly. You're not aiming for the fences, but damn it, give it a ride. Give your
fly would have tied the game, right?
Exactly. They're situational baseball, I feel like it's missing from this team.
Well, Noom says here he's a little surprised, and I understand the left-handed pitcher thing. And Vesia, whatever you say his name, maybe his numbers did stink, but the guy earned it. He's batting a 340 something or whatever it is right now. And I don't. You pinch hit him for a right-handed batter who's hitting 209. That was really what made me that's situational baseball. And granted, did it work out kind of in the long run? Sure. But if Marsh came up there and at least just got the game tied, it might have been different either way. And Marsh would have another chance to hit or two after that. So yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't.
If you're gonna bet, sense to me.
It's a Wrap Sports Network. Breaking news from the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Every player on the Eagles roster is amazing, and don't pay attention to the QB having to learn an offense system because he's elite.
It doesn't make it any difference from any other year. He's had 11 different offensive coordinators the last 11 years.
I'm just telling you, it's Johnny D coming out of left field here,
that's just like his take last Sunday night. And Matty must have went through a 55-gallon jug of chapstick. The chap is, to soothe that chap on his ass last week when he was going, oh, well, how dare they're homers. No, the Washington Commanders stink, and they lost a lot of offensive talent that they had, but you got them coming in here and winning week 1. I guess you can use the whole it's any given Sunday, right? The one thing I will agree that he did say about the Eagles schedule, actually 2 things. I do think that Carolina game is a loss coming off of going to London, and I also agree with him with the end of the season with the 3 games in a row, that gauntlet that's at the end of the season with the Texans, 49ers, and Seahawks. Those 2 things I agree with him with. Other than that, Matty's scared. He should go buy a dog. Okay. Oh, these teams. these teams are going to come in here, and I only see 8 wins, but I can leave it up to 13. But I only see 8. Where the hell on this do you see that they got 9 losses? Like, give me a break. Even if the offense starts to sputter, they're going to lean on their run game. They're going to run the ball and play defense, which, by the way, their defense is better than what? I'll say probably a good 90% of the teams they're playing. I'll say their defense is probably right there with Seattle's, and I'll give Houston the better defense. Other than that, they got a better defense than everybody on their schedule. Like, so, again, Matty B should go buy a dog. He's scared. Like common sense has got to kick in somewhere, okay? And
my question is, it's easy for you to say.
It is. I could be wrong.
No. On the other side is his. Easy for you to say. We're saying everybody's amazing. I don't think we ever said everybody's amazing, but there are certain guys I'm excited to see play. We talked about more on defense and offense, but I'm excited to see how the Sean Mannion situation works out. Listen, did he have an elite year last year? No. But the man's been at 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1. I understand the defense was a big play in that, but the offense also was going off as well. It all happened. Like, listen, they all had a bad year last year. You can't tell me one Eagle that had a really good year last year outside of maybe 1,000-yard wide receiver and the other 1,000-yard wide receiver. Oh, I forgot about. Oh, wait, who was throwing to him? That's right. Listen.
No. He's going to take that. There we go, because I'm going to see the Emporium come up with your song. Because
he's going to pop it on the bottom of the screen. I'm waiting for it. I'm egging him on at this point. My point is, this team is still a top contender. Tell me he's not. Tell me they're not.
Not by him. They're anywhere between 8-9 and 13-4. Like, come on, dude.
Would you want to be the top 3 team in your conference? Do you think the top 3 teams in the conference going into the season are more likely to go to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC, right? Would you imagine?
I mean, listen,
you're telling me the Eagles aren't one of the top 3 teams, even with a new offensive coordinator and offensive scheme and a lot of the weapons, AJ Brown. You're not. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not allowing him to do this. We were talking about the Phillies. He's not going to railroad our show. We will move on. Elephant in the room's talking about some stuff we were going to bring up. Phillies need new blood.
Yes.
No, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with them. By the way, just for those who know, Mike is on the call tonight for the Phillies post-game show.
Yes.
Matty B took last night.
Which I thank him, because I was dead.
So you got the Phillies going up against Yoshiminu Yamamoto.
Painter. Painter's opposite him.
Painter has to have a good game. The offense needs to show up today, and that's where the new blood situation needs to come into play. Now, some names, of course. Let's talk about the. I'm gonna put the name up here. The elephant in the room.
Trout.
Scooble. Let's start with the Scooble situation. Do you really want to see them sink money into a guy who'd probably be a 1-year rental, unless they're willing to pay him, unless they would take Aaron Nola in the trade, and then you could pay him. But the first part, you put Scooble on this team. Sanchez, Wheeler, Scooble, just scary in that postseason. But you still have to score runs. That is the ultimate. You can get away with scoring less runs. You could be like a 3-run scorer a game and win. You can win those games. But
I don't know. Like,
you still need backs.
Yeah. Do they want to sink that much money into Scooble? And I guess it would work. Coming here. I mean, he wouldn't be the number 1 option here. You figure Sanchez is going to have that locked up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'd be like a 2B behind. Be a 2B behind. Or right there with Wheeler.
No, I elephant in the room. I think you're correct. He's unmovable. Like, why would you sell Scooble and then take on $25 million a year of a guy who is a shell of himself?
Yeah.
No, I think we're stuck with it.
The perfect team to trade Aaron Nola to is the Anaheim Angels. Like, they will take anybody in a deal. So.
You're right on that one. That's why I said O-line will make or break this team.
They're the keys right there.
Rob still thinks you're 13-4. Run game. So if Saquon breaks off another 2,500 yard season, okay, 1,000-yard season. Well, don't work it about last year. Rage on homers.
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to answer that. So guess what? You don't need Saquon. You don't need Saquon to have 2,500 yards. Guess what? You can have Saquon get 1,500 yards. Then you can have Tank Bigsby get 1,000 yards. Okay, and just to back them up, you got Dameon Pierce who could also run the football. So again, call me a homer all you want. They're going to run the ball and play defense. And again, until they can stop it, which most of the NFL can't stop it, then you're going to say they went to a Super Bowl literally 3 years ago with just running the ball.
Yeah.
Now tell me I'm wrong about that. Miserable SOB.
Well, my other point is like if you got a guy who's running the ball great, yeah, you're going to continue to run the ball. Yeah. Why would you throw it through the air and risk anything? I don't care if it's Tom Brady up there. If the guy's running the ball is tearing off, 250 yards a game, then yeah, let him do it.
Oh, and his next thing too, they said the dynasty opportunity. How many chances for a dynasty is there? Like, give me a break. This is how I know, man, you don't watch football. You just come in and crap on the Eagles.
Can I ask a question? If I understand dynasties going back to back to back to back, but is it less of a dynasty if in 5 years you went to 3 Super Bowls and win 2 of them? Like if they went to the Super Bowl this year and won, that means in 5 years they went to 3 Super Bowls and will win 2.
Right, and if you go back, I think 10 years
outside of New England and outside of Kansas City, who else has done that in the last 26 years?
Yeah, like Pittsburgh, like back in the day.
No, I said the last 26 years.
Oh,
nobody. I mean, my point is it less of a dynasty if you do it every other year? If you went to the playoffs every year for, say, 8 years, but in that 8-year span, you go to 3 Super Bowls and win 2 of them, is that less of a dynasty? I mean, is that just a modern-day dynasty? I don't know. I mean, it's a serious question.
Yeah, I don't.
Anything like that. It's a serious question. Like, is that a dynasty or no?
I mean, because if you look at it, I think they won 3 Super Bowls within 5 years. Did Kansas City? So, I mean, that would be considered a dynasty. You know what I mean? But if you really look at it, they went to 6 straight Super Bowls. So, Al, I'll be right back, dude. I got to step off real quick.
I got. I think Eagles have a decent record, but they will have a kind of grind drama in their wins that makes the records uncomfortable and gets the coach fired. Oh, so you're saying Sirianni's getting fired this year? Wow. Okay. I wouldn't be. You had me up until the firing part. So you think they're gonna have can you fire a guy even if it's been uncomfortable? If you win 12 games, can you fire the guy? 10 to 12 games, can you fire the guy? I mean, you can. Yeah, I guess so. Anything's possible, but I mean, listen, the first 4 or 5 are going to be grind out games. Everybody's new. You got new players, new targets, new scheme. It's always grind out in the first few games. I mean, that's what happened and when they won in 24. We thought Sirianni was getting fired then. You know what I mean? And then after that week 5 bye, they went on a tear, never looked back. So that's why you don't judge a team in the first 4 or 5 wins. I mean, last year, that's kind of what happened last year. They had wins, but they were uncomfortable wins. I mean, they were even in games when he had 2 turnovers in 1 single play. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. Yes, especially if drama persists without AJ, they're to shoulder the blame. Without AJ being there to shoulder. I don't even know. I blamed AJ for as much of the blames. I mean, his attitude in that situation made things a little harder and cohesion situation. But I am, again, being a homer, looking at this season, what they were able to accomplish with all those complaints we had. Bad offensive line, bad offensive play calling, not elite play by Jalen Hurts. They still were able to have 2,000-yard wide receivers. Yes, not to 2,500 yards. I mean, that stuff doesn't happen all the time. You could still win without that. I don't know. Matty B is really harping on that one. But, they were still able, and then when they got played against the Niners, they got completely handed to them. But Rob thinks Sirianni's going there. But listen, I don't want to change the gears too much, but we have to get back to the Phillies. Let's get a little later. I do want to touch on this. We talked about Scooble, which I don't think happens. He'd be a year rental, and you got to pay him. Like, can they even afford to do so? Can you afford to do that going into this off season, knowing looming, and they're talking about having to have a cap of $258 million or something like that. Apparently, the cap's going to be a high cap and a low cap. Like, you can only be so high, so low to make things more competitive. I don't know. But the other one's Mike Trout. And again, that falls into it. If you got to cut fat, how do you get rid of that? Mike Trout conversation keeps rearing its ugly head. I don't I don't know how that makes a difference. I mean, it makes sense. This is the scary part with the Mike Trout conversation. It makes sense. For the Phillies to get a right-handed bat in the outfield who could play probably right field or left field, and you can move somebody to right and goodbye Garcia and all that stuff, or put him on the bench. But it makes sense, but at the same time, it's still a hard, jagged pill to swallow with Mike Trout. It's the cost, and B, the years, because then you're adding another guy who's got a bunch of years left. Trout makes a lot of sense for Mark. Listen, Trout coming home, Trout Phillies jerseys. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense from that standpoint. Does it make sense from winning this year? Trout has a no trade clause, so he demands Philly, I think, more than possibly he ends up here. Yeah, I know, but my question is, it makes sense on paper. It makes sense on from a marketing standpoint. But does Mike Trout, if the Phillies land him, Mike Laro, from a Mike on a Mike situation here, Mike's on the mic, talk about Mike. Does Mike Trout bolster this team?
If he's healthy.
Okay, if he's healthy. Let's play the if he's healthy game. If he's healthy, does Mike Trout change the dynamics of this team?
Yeah, because
where do you bat him?
Oh, that's a good question. I would bat him fourth. You put him in that fourth position right there, and yeah, I think he could help.
Where do you bat him if Mike Laro's
managing?
Yeah, managing.
I would do Turner 1, I guess Schwarber 2, Harper 3, Trout 4. And then you go down, fill out the rest of the lineup with your Bohms and your Realmutos and your Stotts and your Marshes. I mean, again, do I think he can help the Phils? He's a right-handed bat, and he's if he's healthy,
has pop. We all know that, yes.
Right, and he's
batting at for those right now. Right now, he's batting at 241 in the 2026 season. He is 45 hits, 49 hits, 45 runs scored, 14 home runs, 31 RBIs, 5 stolen bases. His on-base percentage is .412. His OPS is .910. So the numbers aren't bad. But does it make sense adding a 34-year-old guy to another 34-year-old guy to this roster unless he's going to be over the hump this year.
If we're gonna add a 30+ something guy, I have another guy in mind. And I believe it or not, again, this is starting to scary because me and Maddie are actually on the same page with this one. And that's Christian Walker from the Astros. If you're going to do that, I would love that. I would love to get Christian Walker in here. You move Harper back to the outfield, and if you want to keep, I think Adolis Garcia will probably be DFA'd at that point if they make that move, or if they do keep him here, you can kind of platoon him, I guess, with Marsh. You know what I mean? And they could he would just become a platoon player off the bench. But I would really I would like that Christian Walker deal a lot better. And I don't think it would take that much to get Christian Walker.
Listen, Christian Walker, he is on he's paying $20 million a year. He is a 3-year contract with Houston, which it's actually gets them through 2027. So you're really not locked in too much. So
there ain't going to be a 2027. So
I'm saying after this season, whatever chunk you'd be paying next season. Let's see. I think the Phillies would be happy as long as he's healthy for the playoffs. And hell, yes, he bolsters this lineup, bat him, clean up. Trout sends a lineup into a new tier. So Elephant in the room is saying Trout will add to you, but Trout, I believe he's on a 12-year contract, which would get him to like 2031, 32, something like that. So that's what, $35 million a year. Hold on, what's he getting paid?
37.
35. He's $37 million a year.
Yeah, like that's what I said. Like for us to even have to counteract that, you would have to throw Aaron Nola.
30, yeah.
Right. You would have to throw an Aaron Nola into that deal to make the numbers make sense.
Yeah. And
so
but would the Angels be smart enough to do that? And maybe the Angels look at him like, hey, listen, Aaron Nola has something possibly, but the numbers don't tell you that. He can, but will he?
Yeah.
Christian Walker from the Astros move Harper back to the right field. Yeah. Again, Christian Walker. Let's just kind of break him down for a second. He'll be 37 by the end of this contract. He's only about a year. You have this year, and then whatever portion of next year you get, and then you're not stuck with him. So that, from that standpoint, makes sense.
And you wouldn't have to give up the farm to get him.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wouldn't.
That's the 2025 season. I'm trying to get his numbers for 2025. Let's just look at 2025. He had 238 batting average. This year he's doing a lot better. I know that. Yeah, and Matty puts this out there. Looks like the Astros are heading towards, we got to start getting rid of guys. So maybe they'd be willing to get some young guys in or whatever it is. Take on, Johan Rojas still play for us. Maybe we can trade him away. I know he's under whatever that stuff he had to deal with. But he makes sense for a short run. He's not going to cost you the farm. I get it. Rob saying Trout is not coming here. Chris, Elf in the room say I'll play devil's advocate. Schwartz, Turner, Harper, Trout, Marsh. Can it be Turner, Trout, Harper, Schwarber, Marsh?
Yeah, it can be.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to see Schwarber and leadoff. I can see the outfield breaking down Harp's body. I mean, I guess that's another reason. Like, he could play right field. Remember, we're still stuck with this guy for a while. We got to keep him as healthy as possible. So Newman brings up kind of a good point there. But I like the Christian Walker move. Taylor Ward's another move.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to bring him up too.
He's with the Orioles. Now the Orioles, they're in a division kind of like ours, where one team's running away with it for the most part, and the other teams are either floating around the 500 mark or worse. 1 year. He's only $12 million this year, so you're only taking on about half of that. It's only 1 year, so you're not stuck with him after this year.
He would be a nice rental.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got pop in his bat, and the thing is,
254. He's an on-base percentage of 404. Slugging is 354. OPS is 758. He's already got 53 hits and 53 walks this season. So he gets on base. He's not a home run hitter, and that's my beauty of him. This is why, if all these people we talked about, I like him the most. He's not going to. You're not stuck with him. He's
a contact hitter.
He's a contact hitter, and he's right-handed bat. Like, he is not there trying to plow the ball out of the field like everybody else does. Maybe you could put him in the top, as a number 2 or hitter, and get guys on base for Harper and Schwartz. I don't know. This is.
Oh man,
I would prefer Turner and leadoff, but no, I get it. But does bringing a new blood like Trout or somebody like this, does that? I don't know. I could say, like, I don't see him staying like this for the rest of the season, but he did have one season where it was mostly like this, so it's really hard for me not to. I mean, but the last season and most of the season, half the season before, he was leading the league in batting, so. You would hope he can get it together. I think he can better than most. So I have less worries about that than maybe other people. A 30 for 30 about why Schwarber will not back cleanup as must-see TV. I watch it. I would need to hear that. Then again, I don't know if I would watch it because how many TVs I would break watching the answer to that, Matt. Walker was awful against us in 2023 NLCS. Okay. That was in he played for Arizona. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. And then there was another one. I think it's a bit of a long shot, but he's at the end of his 7-year contract, towards the end, I should say. And Garcia was on a tear in 2023 ALCS. Yeah, no, good point. He's so Buxton. This is one. I'll tell you a few reasons why Byron Buxton is a guy I'm keeping an eye on, and I'll tell you why. He is on a 7-year, $100 million extension with the Twins. It gets him through 2028. So that'd be the rest of this year, whatever of next year, and the year after that. He's with the Twins. We obviously like trading with the Twins. We did 2 trades with them last year. Whatever it is they have. Like dealing with Dombrowski. He's only $15 million a year, so he's not breaking the bank in that sense. Like I said, he's here through he would be here through 2028. And right now, he is batting at 260, 323 on base percentage, 563 slugging, 881 OPS, 17 home runs. He's got speed.
Yeah, but the problem with Buxton is he can't stay healthy. He gets hurt a lot, and that's the knock on him.
I get it. And that's why I'm saying that might be a reason why you can pick him up. And if he could stay healthy for this year, this is the year you're whatever you're worried about a little more than next year and even the year after that. But I mean, his batting average is usually fairly consistent, like 264 and above, except for 2021 and 23. He didn't have the greatest of years, but he was injured a lot those seasons. So
I don't know. I still, if you're going to move Harper to the outfield, I would like to get a guy like Brett Rooker in here from the A's. If it's feasible.
If it's feasible, I'm not sold on him.
I'm sold on him, man. Like, listen, that dude, he's a right-handed power bat, and he can hit. He hits for doubles and stuff like that. So I mean. And he's young. Like, and I believe he can also play left field. He can also play left field and third base. So he's not just a one-trick pony. He can play around. They have moved him to different spots with the A's. I've seen him play left field. I've seen him play third base. So, he's kind of, they kind of keep him at the DH spot there. With the A's, but I would love to see him, man. I really would. He does make good contact with the ball.
Could Harper play third base
You know what? I could see him doing that.
this year? But could if they had to get somebody at first base for Harper? I think Harper's athletic enough to go to third base. I mean, I don't know. That's a whole different conversation. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Button, I guess he meant Buxton, will cost a lot. Are the Twins are definitely in blow up. Would he cost a lot? I mean, he's only 3 years left on the contract. 2.5 years by the time you make the trade. Can you go, listen, we're not giving up the farm because we don't even know what our season's going to look like next year. And they are definitely in blow up mode, and they get Sakai's contract off their books. And you may get him. You don't have to give up the farm to get it. I don't know if he would cost as much as you think it would.
I think.
I know. It's a joke. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
I think.
I
wouldn't do it. I mean, if I were to do it, maybe there's a way we can bring back our guy Cody Clemens. Bring him back as a bench piece.
Yeah, I don't. Let's look up Cody Clemens real quick.
Believe it or not, I actually saw his name in a trade. So.
Yeah, that's my point too. Like, I don't know. I don't know
about putting Rooker in the outfield.
Do we need another guy who's always swinging for the fences? That's why Taylor Wood is if all the guys I've talked about, Taylor Wood is the guy I like the most in this situation.
I'm just throwing other names out there. That's all. And unlike Schwarber, Taylor or Rooker can play third base. Clemens not bad.
39 with 6 home runs and 18 RBIs. He had a big game against the Pirates where he was 3 for 5 with a triple and 2 RBIs. He has a 1-year contract with arbitration. I mean, he definitely is affordable. I don't know. Is he an everyday player? Let's see, through 47 games, but did he play all 47? That's my question. He's a utility infielder. I mean, he's played all spots, but I don't know. I feel like there's a rehash there. Who will be the power yards after the catch, making players look silly and miss wideouts when Brown leaves? He makes short catches in the long downs of the field, down the field yards. Who will be that guy? We'll find out.
It's going to be a combination. It's going to be a combination of Devontae Smith. It'll be a combination of Devontae Smith, Devontae Wicks, and
Dontavian Wicks.
Dontavian Wicks.
Night of the round table. Dontavian Wicks.
Dontavian Wicks, and your mix of your tight ends. Again, looking at this offense and what it's supposed to be, to me, I can only see it as them. It's not going to be. You're not going to be able to focus on the one guy who's going to break away because they're going to have other guys that are going to be able to get open. The one thing I will give the Eagles: will they miss AJ as far as going down the field and doing the contested catches? Yes, but that's not. But that's not going to be their offense this year. Their offense is going to be dink and dunk.
Losing AJ Brown isn't going to be a kick in the teeth. Personally, I think we all had our druthers. We would keep him. You know what I mean? But we know he don't want to be here. We know that listen, AJ Brown's got to the point. He got a Super Bowl ring. He is very much a diva. And now he's about pad statin now. And that's what he wants. He wants a gunslinger. That's why going to Patriots makes sense for him. He's a New England Patriots fan. He goes back to his guy in Mike Vrabel. And then he's got Drake May just tossing dimes to him, so he can just rack it up. Right. Listen, he's unhappy. I'm all about the guys not being here, but I'm getting my pound of flesh out of the deal. And thank you for your service. You'll always forever be an Eagle. You'll have your Super Bowl with us, but I'm not sitting there crying over spilled milk at that point. It's not happening. There's one other couple trade rumor. I don't get it. Something makes sense of it for me. Duran Duran with Boston. Does that make sense? I mean, the guy, isn't doing very well. It's another change of scenery guy. Does that make sense to you, Mike Laura?
No, and you would have to give up the farm to go get him. You know what I mean? And I saw a weird one too. Was us Duran going to the Yankees? Our Duran, Johan Duran, going to the Yankees for one of their starting pitchers, their young starting pitcher. And I was like, why would the Phillies trade their closer to the Yankees?
Listen,
I don't see that.
Playoff, you really need 3 pitchers, right? As of right now, if everything stays the same and healthy, you got Sanchez, Wheeler, and Luzardo, which I'm not unhappy with from a rotational standpoint, right? So why do I need another starting pitcher at this point? I mean, unless Andrew, these guys fall off and we don't even get there, but the offense will be wide open. Don't look at me. It won't make sense of that for you. Laugh out loud.
Now, this is interesting what he wrote, because that kid's been linked to this A.J. Brown trade, which was the
Jahad Campbell?
No, not Jahad Campbell. The tackle that they got this past year in the draft.
That was the tin hat theory, that they knew they were trading with the Eagles. They picked the guy they wanted, and it just this way they're going to get that, maybe get him and maybe like a second-round pick. So you technically get a first-round pick. You get the guy you want, and then you bring in – then you make the trade afterwards, so you save us a couple bucks on trading him after June 2nd. That was one of the big tin hat theories, that New England made the trade for the Eagles. But then again, New England needed offensive line help, so I don't know.
Right. And as far as, going back with the Phillies with that one, like he said, like Ryan said here, like that Duran, Jarrett Duran.
I worry about that because it's a Red Sox thing and it's Dombrowski. You know what I mean?
Listen, if there is baseball next year, Alex Cora is going to be the Phillies manager. Like Donnie Baseball is only sticking around probably to the end of the year. You know what I mean? And, this was a fail-safe for them to do what they were going to do if the Phillies got off the way they did. And, it was their backup. And so, be prepared. Alex Cora is going to be the Phillies manager next year if he chooses to come, to go for it.
And there's another one that came up. Luis Roberts Jr. was another name that keeps popping his ugly head up.
Yeah.
Great year again. He's a 224 hitter.
Well, he's with the Mets, right? He's with the Mets.
Yeah. So I don't know why people keep bringing that name up.
Oh, man.
Mets ain't going to trade him. And plus, why would you want him? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Certain guys are always linked to the Phillies. You know what I mean? That's why I'm sitting there. I'm looking at it. I'm like, no. Certain trades that I've seen. One was what the hell's the kid's name? The Florida, one of the starting pitchers for Florida was linked to coming to the Phillies in a trade, but it had to do.
I know you're about.
Yeah, it wasn't Alcantara. It was the other kid.
Yeah.
They had him coming to the Phillies, but the Phillies were giving up Aiden Miller. They were giving up a whole bunch of minor leaguers, and I'm like, no, it's kind of like emptying out your cupboard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. That's the problem, is the cupboard ain't that full to begin with.
Right. And Elephant, I don't know what you're hoping I was wrong with. If you're talking about there's not going to be a baseball season next year, there's not going to be a baseball season. The owners will lock out the players next year. They are far apart on, even settling this thing. I think the owners want a salary cap at $247, which means the Phillies wouldn't be able to sign nobody for about 5 years if they kind of go for it. They are far apart on this. They are heading for a lockout. So enjoy this season, because I don't think we are going to get it. You're saying Alex Cora? Buddy, trust me, Alex Cora is going to be your next manager of the Phillies next year, if there is a baseball season.
Yeah,
it's pretty much written, unless somebody else blows them away with an offer,
or if Dombrowski goes.
or yeah.
Like that's how I look at it. Like it's there's no perfect scenario from a trade deadline. You're going to have to give up something. And the question is, what are you willing to give up? Because right now, Aiden Miller looks like he could be never play a lick of baseball again. There has been no good sign of him playing at all.
Listen, man, you let that kid heal up. Let him go heal.
I get it, but there's nothing for you to. There's nothing for you to trade away at this point. What are you trading away?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be talent down there that somebody wants. You know what I mean? There's always ways to make a trade. So, you know, but again, I'm just waiting to see. There will be. Oh, here he goes. No, I was looking at the coffin creaked.
There will be a 2020 season. They understand to lose way too much money for a no season. I don't know when the season will start, but there will be a season. I agree with him on that one.
I think they're too far apart. If you're listening to where they're talking now, like they're so far apart. Like, and I know they have time, but like time's ticking, and I don't say it. I think they're going to lock them out. And again, it's every so many years. Okay, they did it in '82 when they were talking about bringing in a salary cap. Then, okay, the players had a strike. They did it again in '94. You know, again. Now the only thing is, like, you know, as much crap as they give the steroid era, you know, I think baseball should thank them guys, because if it wasn't for them, you know, doing the juice and hitting all the home runs, baseball would have died a long time ago. It would have died a long time ago, because
it's a shame it had to go that way, but no, I know what you're saying. It did salvage.
It did. It salvaged baseball in this country, because guess what? It's not the national pastime anymore. It's all baseball is to get you from March until when training camp starts. That's all baseball is. Even people who like baseball, if your team's not in it, you're zoned out about that, and you're on the NFL by the time July gets here. You know what I mean? Or if you're a big college guy, you're on the college football. That's all baseball has become. If your team is not fighting for October, you're already by the time week 0 of the college NFL or college season or training camp of the NFL season, you're going from baseball. Baseball is left to, okay, our team's not doing so good. They're going to come in last place. You know what? I don't want to go to the game tonight. Or, you know what? Yeah, it'll probably be, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do. Let's go down and check a game out.
Yeah, and listen, baseball is very actively dependent on people going to the games, spending their money, where football, they make a ton of money. And that's an investment. Make a ton of money on TV. But, yeah, no, you're right. And if your team's out of it, even if your team's out of it, it's also – like the Phillies probably make a lot more money when their team's bad than some teams make when their team's good, just because of the market. You know, when everyone realizes they ain't getting paid, they will become a lot more rational, and that's what's going to happen. It's just going to be like who blinks first. You know, because the owners aren't making money, but at the same time, they're not spending money. The baseball players aren't making their money, and you know, guys like Harper can hold their breath a little longer than other guys who are making a hell of a lot less, or trying to make their signings. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here goes Ryan. Let's see. Trade Marsh now while his stock is high for a right-handed guy. I love Marsh and his personality, but it is now time while his stock is high. I know they've been waiting for this from him, but will it last? Well, give him credit, Ryan, because it started last year, like halfway through last year, and it hasn't let up since, even when the Phillies were really struggling. I would be inclined not to trade him. Plus, at this point, he's our best hitter. Brandon Marsh is literally our best hitter. Like, what do you do with that? You're like literally giving up everything. Now you're pretty much a Schwarber and Harper, and you have to hope they stay healthy. Everybody else hasn't done jack.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to rebuttal to that. Uh,
The NFL just gets me through the off season. See. It's all about the money. Neither party will stand for a no pay due season. Yeah, no, I know.
they're far apart.
Baseball is a stepping stone for football. I don't know about that.
Hmm.
Baseball is now and I will always be the national pastime. Don't listen to the communist Homer.
Yeah, it is. Says the blind ump. Jesus God. Hey, Maddie, they got ABS where you're at? Oh, God. I wonder how many times he's been overturned.
Oh, wow.
Blind Homer. I'm the communist Homer because I point out reality. Like, nobody, if your team is.
Listen, I'm going to push back on both sides. I'm going to sit there and say baseball's far from dead, but football is definitely the number one sport in the country.
Football's the national pastime. Baseball just gets you to football. Like I said, if
you want to be the pastime, because like that just sounds like you're passing through time. Like I'm just watching baseball because I'm waiting for something.
No. I said
only. No. I'm saying the term pastime. I'm saying the term pastime just sounds like somebody's just trying to wait for it to get done.
It's like you know what? Ohio State kicks off next week. Or next month. I guess I'll tune into the Reds.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Like, stop it with that. It's
we do know the difference between Phillies not being in October versus the Phillies being in October. There's a big difference. And you're still watching your Philly. The only way the Phillies outbeat people watching the Eagles is when they're in the postseason, especially,
Red October
in the postseason. So
right, and that's the only thing. You don't believe it? Try to go to a Phillies game in September when the Eagles are playing. Okay, go to a Phillies game when the Eagles are playing. That's all I'm going to say. You will see. They may get 40,000 down there, but all 40,000's got earpieces.
Wow. Eagles. This is the biggest shot fired I've ever seen on this show.
I don't know about Homer. He kind of yells. He's the Homer.
Matty B. This is Matty B's heart right now, thumping through his chest, hearing that. He's about to Hulk out.
Yeah, I can't agree to that. But yeah, I mean, Matty B's, I love his.
Sorry, he was on a loop. I didn't mean to say.
Oh man, you guys having too much fun over there.
Sorry.
Now listen, we got to pick it up. I got a sport. So go ahead. His next one. Name me another sport that is played year round other than baseball. Yeah, it's called soccer. It's played everywhere. Okay, you can't play football year round because it takes a toll on your body.
Yeah, it's just that's the difference there, and that's why the conversation about adding a 7th or 18th game to the season and then they have to take other stuff away.
I'm sorry.
Not that baseball doesn't. All sports take a toll on your body, but it's a lot different. I mean, you're only playing 162 games plus preseason games, plus if you go deep into October. So I get his point that the game just
listen, and plus
so does hockey and a little bit to a point. I mean, that's because it's stretched out. I mean, there's the closest amount of time played is 80 some games with hockey and basketball, and they're talking about shortening basketball seasons, and then 162 games just to get you to the postseason.
And I will say this too, like, a lot of those guys too, sometimes when they do go home, they do get, like, if they, they'll go play in their native country, for a while, so you do have those leagues. You have the Arizona Fall League, so I get it. But, and I did say soccer nooms because I am American. I don't say football to me is when you strap up the pads and put a helmet on. That's football. The rest, that other.
No, I think he was saying that. I think he was saying that to Matt. Soccer, laugh out loud. Knew it. Big Al's Excuse Emporium can't play football year round because of the owie aisle 4. Come on, man. Now you're a troll. You're an absolute troll at this point.
Yes, he is.
You know what you're doing. Tell me, could you imagine linemen playing all year long, being in every play? I mean, that's brutal.
Can you, think about a season, right? With only 50, you'd have to double the roster size. You'd have to double. You'd have to, you'd have to have, it'd be like college. You'd have to have 90 to 100 people on the sideline.
Yeah.
To get through a full year of playing football. But that's okay. That's just him being, but what do you expect from a blind umpire? You know what I mean?
Man, I'm getting out of, I feel like I'm in the crosshairs here, but, like waiting for the shot.
Blind umpire. Turning
into this. It's turning into this. That's exactly what his veins look like too on the side of his neck when he's freaking out.
Yeah. Now this I will agree with. That
more physical in football. They can play 2 games in playoffs.
Most definitely. Will agree. I think that's the most physical sport on the planet. Listen, I put hockey at number 1, but right behind it, I do put soccer because them dudes. You ever watch them? Listen, no, Al, you're waving your hands, but I'm going to tell you, try to run for as long as those guys can run. Like they run non-stop, dude, non-stop. I know I could never play soccer in my lifetime. That's way too much running for a guy like me. So I got to give it to him there. But I do think hockey by far. Whoa, somebody got gas?
All right, guys, that's it. I'm getting delirious. I'm just saying, but yeah, I got to stop doing it. Just reminder. Yeah. So you got the Phillies post game with Mike Laro today. That's absolutely correct. You get a double dose of Mike today. But Matt's going to stay in and keep his trolling on the sidelines today, not on the screen. Back to San Diego here in Philly Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There's the lineup of handsomeness right there, starting with your ace, mate. Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know why they put the closer in second. Now, Maddie's always gracious and takes the afternoon games because we are at work.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no Maddie B tonight, huh?
I guess Maddie B will ban me from the show. Maddie B loves it. He will sit there. It's like, Batman without Joker. They need each other. Good versus evil. Then who do you fight? But
so there's no
game record this year. Who has the best? Well, if they ask Matty that, he keeps track of that. I know I was at the tops, but I don't know if that's changed at all since he last posted. He usually does it at the end of the month. Hold on one second. I'll see if I can pull up. Let's see. I'll tell you right now. Give me 2.
I know I haven't talked about a loss in a while, so I've had like 3 or 4.
It felt like that's all you were talking about for a while. I mean.
Oh yeah,
I was happy to be 1 game over 500 at one point when this team, like in the end of April.
I think I was like 3-6 or something. I was a couple games under 500. I know that.
Yeah, I gotta pull up this. It goes all the way. Gee,
Matty will definitely be putting it up there, especially if he's in first place because he's got to brag about it.
Oh yeah, it's like he played. He went out there and he played. Oh, here you go. So the last one was from May 10th, and at that point of May 10th. I was 7-6. He was 10-11, and you were 3-4. So I was top.
Okay.
But that was right before they just started going on their tears and everything. So we will have to get the update from Maddie. I'm sure we'll have it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Other than that, guys, thank you, Elf. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Always.
He's Mike Laro still. I remain Big Al.
I will see you guys for the Fightins final later on today. And like I said,
7:30, I guess.
Yeah, I'll have the Down on the Farm segment too as well. If Maddie put it in.
Are you? He's letting you do it.
I don't know. I had to take a look and see if he put it in there.
Well, I'm gonna leave you guys. What? Oh,
yeah, he did. Yes, I did. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Hold on.
I'm gonna leave you with one last video before we play you guys out. I always like to end the show with this one. We will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great one, everybody.
Ready? Just the end. What's Lady and the Tramp?
They share a hot dog just like that.
Spaghetti.
Right?
It's very romantic. It is kind of beefy.
All right. You know that image is going to live forever. You're never going to be able to live that down, either one of you.
For Keith, he won't be able to live it down. For me, it's a career highlight. Hey, guys,